Hey everyone, I'm Johnny FD and happy March. So this is a recap of my last 29 days, February 1st to the 29th here in Sri Lanka as a digital nomad. I'm gonna go over my expenses, how much I spent on everything getting here, the cost of living, the co-working, the meetups, the dinners, the food, all that stuff, how much I earned this month, and what it's like being a digital nomad here in Sri Lanka, coming from Chiang Mai through Bangkok. Let's get started. Hi guys, welcome back. I just moved inside because it's a bit quieter and a bit cooler in here, but I wanted to go over this month's kind of travels, expenses, and income report. So I started in Bangkok, and I was there for a week, which is way too long to stay in Bangkok, but I had a lot of fun. Got to have some dim sum buffet with a couple friends, Balka, Camille, Andrew, shout out, as well as Patrick and his crew. We went to some speakeasy clubs. This one's called Havana Social. We actually walked through a telephone booth to get into. Very, very cool. And they were staying at the Conrad, and I got to use all the facilities. So I was there basically at the gym every single day, using their pool, using their bathtubs, and really hanging out. So for those who've been following my Instagram at JohnnyFDK, and you're like, oh, Johnny's balling out staying at the Conrad. Nope. I was staying at a private room in a hostel for like 15 or 20 bucks a night, while they're here for 200 bucks a night, and I got to use all the facilities. Travel hack, have baller friends. So Colombo was easy flight. I flew with Thai Lion Air, which is really, really good. And they had a direct flight from DMK, Bangkok. I had originally booked a flight with Air Asia, but they tried to reroute me through Kuala Lumpur. And because of that flight change, I didn't hit confirm when they said your flight changed. Instead, I got a full refund, which is possible even with low-cost carriers like Air Asia if they change your flight. So travel hack, I was able to reroute with Thai Lion, and they were fantastic. I highly, highly recommend them. So this is my second year in a row going to Sri Lanka. I really loved it last year. The only thing I was missing was a crew of friends to co-work with. Yeah, sure, you can meet, backpackers and other travelers and surfers, but I wanted, people that were also working online and slow traveling and not moving around too much. So that's why this year, after the Nomad Summit, I put together a group called Co-Work and Surf Weligama. I said, who wants to go to Sri Lanka after the Nomad Summit? And about 100 people have joined the group so far. There's probably like 20 of us here right now in Sri Lanka, and it's pretty cool. We're having weekly dinners and meetups and trips. So it's been really, really fun. If you want to read more about what my trip was like in Sri Lanka last year, read my Sri Lanka travel guide on my blog, and you can see kind of why I liked it so much and why I'm back. So this year, I booked a pretty cheap room. It was 250 bucks a month on booking.com, about 10 minutes away from the beach. And then I just randomly started dating someone in Chiang Mai and asked her if she wanted to come to Sri Lanka, and she said yes. So we ended up sharing that room, which was way too dark and small for two people. And because we had two people, they wanted to charge $350 instead of $250. And I was like, you know what? If we're going to spend that anyways, let's try to find something nicer. So we ended up in this room here with that nice big balcony and the view that you saw. And I really, really like it. It's really, really comfortable. It's bright. It has, the location is amazing. It's right on the beach, and it's 500 bucks a month, which is pretty expensive for Sri Lanka, but includes cleaning, electricity, Wi-Fi, water, all utilities, and it's right on the beach. So very, very happy. I would love to live on the beach in a hotel for 500 bucks a month in, Barcelona or Miami or San Diego. I don't think it's possible. And I really like this balcony. I've been working out of here in the mornings and having nice coffee, and it gets a bit too hot. It gets way too hot during the day. It's actually starting to get a little bit hot now, which is why I moved inside. But it's a really nice view. You have all the palm trees and coconut trees. You have the ocean right there, and it's paradise. And it's pretty cheap, right? So there's two of us, and she's German, so it's 250 bucks a month for each of us, which is amazing. That is super travel hack. I don't know why every nomad doesn't do this. Every digital nomad should just partner up with another digital nomad and just couple up. Even if it's just for a few months, it's so much cheaper. It's so much nicer to have a travel buddy to share taxis with, share accommodation with. It literally cuts your costs in half. You have a cuddle buddy on the plane, makes plane rides better. I never want to be single and travel single again. So if I'm ever single and you're like, hey Johnny, I see you're going to wherever next, just hit me up, right? So this is like the ultimate travel hack. I don't know why more nomads don't partner up. And I think it's because we're all very selfish. We're like, no, we have this plan. We're going to go here. We're going to do this. But, and we move around too fast to even develop anything. So my advice to everyone is to, slow down. Plan your travel so you can, get to know people. And then if you do start dating someone, even if it's not that serious yet and you just met them, just ask them if they want to come with you because they might say yes. So here's our expenses for the month. My flight was $80 direct Lion Air. The visa on arrival is $35 for the month. If I had actually applied for it a few days in advance, it actually would have been free. That's another story. Rent is $250 each and includes cleaning, electricity, water, all the kind of utilities. My SIM card is $7.19 a month for 4G, 20 gigabytes, not 1 gigabyte like Google Fi gives you for $10, 20 gigs. And this is why I don't use Google Fi, T-Mobile, or any of these kind of global roaming plans, even though they're convenient. I'm literally getting 20 times more data for the same amount of money. All right. I even ended up paying another $5 to get our own dedicated Wi-Fi here at the hotel so I can have my own line. And I talk about it in my blog, but basically Sri Lanka skipped Wi-Fi, which actually isn't wireless if you really think about it. It's a line going into your house and then a wireless router for the last 20 feet. Sri Lanka, Africa, a lot of places just skipped dial-up. They skipped broadband and they just went straight to 4G. So if you come to Sri Lanka, just tether. Don't even bother with the Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi is actually just a SIM card that they have in a router box. So you're just basically sharing one 4G connection with a bunch of people. Might as well just share it yourself. Another caveat though is for some reason it works really good with iPhones. And because in our group we've been talking about this. If you have an iPhone and you tether, it works perfectly. There's very little issues. I've been able to do all my work, do Skype recordings, and it's been fine. For some reason, on other phones like Xiaomi's specifically, the tethering is sometimes hit or miss. So, sorry, iPhone crew. It's just the way it is sometimes, Like sometimes you get a better value, sometimes things messed up. So, luckily, iPhone 4G works good in Sri Lanka. So aside from that, food is very, very cheap if you eat local food. A rice and curry is like $1 or $2 for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They eat it 3 times a day. Egg rotis, egg hoppers, all these delicious Sri Lankan dishes are very cheap. Fruit is very cheap. Coconuts are very cheap. However, if you're eating, a smoothie bowl at a hipster cafe, it's going to be $5. Which is still pretty cheap compared to Australia or the US, but it's not cheap compared to local food. So, yes, we end up eating smoothie bowls pretty often, or, avo toast for $7 instead of having an avo roti for $1, just because we like the ambience of these kind of vegan hipster cafes to co-work out of. But if you're on a budget, just don't spend all your time there and just eat local food because it's really good. And getting around is very easy. The tuk-tuks are everywhere. They're actually very annoying because they will drive right in front of you while you're trying to walk to try to get you on their tuk-tuk. And they'll be like, hello tuk-tuk all the time. But they are very convenient and they're very cheap. They're about $1.50 a ride to the neighboring towns or, 50 cents within town. And they are everywhere. So I am overall happy that they're here. The gym here sucks. There is a gym. I was going kind of once a week just to lift heavy, but instead I've decided I'm just going to surf and do calisthenics at the park. I just do pull-ups, do a beach workout, do yoga, and that is my goal for the month. Here is our breakdown. Daniela, the German, is very, very detail oriented. Thank you, Germany, for producing these fine people. So we have a full list of everything, what it costs. The easiest way to do the currency calculation is imagine a decimal for the last 2 digits and divide it in half. And then that's the euro. So 100 LKR, which is Sri Lankan rupees, is 50 cents euro. 1,000 would be 5 euros. 10,000 would be 50. No, 10,000. I never spent 10,000. Yeah, 50 euros. All right. So just drop the last 2 digits and divide in half. It's very, very easy. That's actually one reason why I really like Sri Lanka. Unlike Bali or Vietnam, where it's in the millions and the currency all looks the same and taxi drivers like to rip you off, especially when you're new, before you figure it out. Sri Lanka's not like that. It's pretty easy. You can use Uber and Pick Me in Colombo. When you hear the tuk-tuks are 300, which is $1.50. At most, it's 400. And I know they're relatively honest because I accidentally tried to once give them 3,000, and they're like, what? They looked at me like I was insane, and they gave me back the money. So Sri Lanka has lots of upsides. In Vietnam, they would have just robbed me for that, or in Bali as well, especially when you're new. And the only thing that Sri Lanka was missing was a crew. It was a digital nomad crew. So this year we brought our own. At the Nomad Summit in Chiang Mai, we announced Sri Lanka was going to be the official, unofficial after kind of gathering spot to travel to. And we have about 20 people here right now in Weligama and about 100 people in the group that are coming sometime in the next month or two, or at least interested in coming. So we have a cool crew here. This is amazing. So shout out to everyone who came to the Nomad Summit in Chiang Mai. Our next one is in Tbilisi, Georgia, May 23rd. Make sure you're out there. And then we're going to co-work and travel together afterwards. So if you want to know more about the actual kind of breakdown of everything, go to johnnyft.com, read this month's blog post. But overall, quality of life has been pretty high here. Not everything is perfect. There's a lot of downsides. It's a little bit too hot in the afternoon. Things are a bit different, Food, it's good, but it's the same 3 dishes all the time. It's literally rice and curry all the time. The gym sucks, but there's surfing and there's, beach yoga. So there's a lot of, good and pros and cons, right? Don't come here to try to bootstrap a business. I mean, it is cheap, but you're probably not going to be super productive here. But it's a great place to travel, to live cheaply, to surf or learn to surf, to enjoy clean air, beach life. And as long as you are here when other digital nomads are here, there is a community, or bring your own. Join the group, co-work and surf Weligama on Facebook, and go on these weekend trips like us. We went to Jeep Safari, and we saw all these crazy animals in the wild, and then we went to a rainforest and did a hike there. This weekend we're going to go to Ella, which is in the north. There's beach bonfire parties all the time, and just it's a good life. It really is a good life. And this month I also tried to work as well. This has been a really strange month because if you've been kind of watching the stock market, it's dropped a lot, and I've lost $20,000 this month, which is a lot of money, and a lot of people would stress out about that. I also lost another $2,000 because I was experimenting with cold traffic on Facebook ads to promote the new product launch by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. I think it's a good product, and I wanted to see if I can learn Facebook ads and target cold traffic. Hasn't paid off. I think I spent way too much money for the conversions, but it's a good product, and people are still kind of going through it. So we'll see if that ends up breaking even or not. I'll probably end up losing money, but it's a good learning experience. And our dropshipping store had $14,000 worth of cancellations and refunds this month because of things not being in stock. So it's been a really bad month, yet somehow with all that it's happening, I ended up having a positive month anyways, because with the stocks, if you don't sell the stocks while it's down, you don't actually lose money. You still own the same amount of stocks. So at 20,000, it's a wash. The other things, I ended up cashing out one of my investments. I wrote about it here. You can listen to the podcast as well. And I still have all these streams of income. I have multiple stores. And somehow, with all that negativity that's happened, I still ended up having a really good month and making $14,000 this month, which is insane. It's not every month. A big part of that, more than half of that, was from selling that one investment for $8,000 profit. That's a one-time thing. But overall, still really, really good. So I'm very, very happy with all the work I put in the past. And I'm not going to sell these stocks. So that 20,000 is not actually going to become a real paper, a real loss. It's just a paper loss. And as you can see the charts, things go up and down all the time. So I'm not worried about it. If anything, I actually just bought some more when it was down. So that's really it. So my overall thoughts and kind of goals for this month. I really was sad to leave Chiang Mai early. Next year, I'm going to go back earlier. I'm going to go back in October, November, December, and then leave sometime in January. Because I really love Chiang Mai. I want to spend more time there. It's a good routine. I really enjoyed the, OMAD, 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting, buffet diet. If you guys have been following my videos or my blog or my Instagram. And it was a really good routine. But here it's not really possible because it's just very carb heavy and you're just always hungry, and I just had to change it up. But regardless, I'm surfing every day. I'm getting slowly better, finally able to catch and surf some waves after 3 weeks of trying pretty much every day. So I'm a slow learner with things like this, but I'm getting there and I really enjoy the process. And it's just a good life. So I hope that wherever you are, that you're happy, that you're healthy, and you're going after your goals, or at least writing them down and making progress towards them. And here's a funny text that me and my best friend back home, Chris, has been having. This kind of sums it up. Things are going crazy in the world. Back home, everyone's freaking out. Here I am sitting naked on my balcony working with the beach view. So that's life, guys. See you guys next month. Leave a comment below, and I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you're up to. Feel free to ask any questions. Read this blog post on johnnyfd.com for all the details. You can kind of go through this line by line. Ask comment there on the blog as well. It's at johnnyfd.com. And make sure you sign up for the email list while you're here as well, because I send a lot of things in between these monthly updates that you're not going to want to miss out on. So johnnyfd.com. This is the Weligama Sri Lanka Travel Expenses and Income Report, February 2020. Happy March, and I'll see you guys somewhere in the world. Bye-bye.